flags.
There we go. We're back up.
Second
It happens.
stream is derping.
Hey, we're back.
Good.
Yeah, it's back. Alright, I didn't realize that,
Okay.
yeah. Alright, so we're back. Because my computer is poop. Alright, so, just to recap again. So, the good thing is when I put this back up, I'll just cut off at the break. Anyway, so we are back, and the group has just left the throne room after Ekoki's trial, where she has been exiled from the entire forest. She's been heading back to her parents' house, or sorry, her father's house, and at this point, Thorin has chosen to follow her. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Following. Katrina doesn't
well,
have anything to do.
I guess I'll go up to one of the closest guards or someone and be like, I'm guessing none of the stores are open at the moment.
As you look, they kind of look around. No, usually this time of night, people have gone to bed.
So no place to get something to eat or anything like that. Just shut down. Whole village.
Pretty much, yes. I mean, our hunters are out. They should be returning sometime in the early morning, but at this point,
It doesn't
yeah.
help me right now.
Okay.
All right.
They kind of
Well,
continue with their
thanks
business.
for nothing. I guess I'll wander around the town for a little while and then head back to Seer Helio's place.
Okay.
I'll probably post up outside with Thorn.
Okay. So so Thorn, as the second you get there, you kind of post up outside. Ekoki enters, and as you do, even through the walls, you hear just the sounds of just excitement and happiness. As you can tell that Helio is probably overjoyed to see his daughter again. Which
Do I hear her brother?
Do you hear what?
Do I hear her brother?
You do not. As it keeps going, you eventually the excitement seems to die down as you assume she's told her father about her exile, and it's kind of a low, mournful quiet for a while as you assume they're discussing back and forth what that means. Eventually, Carrick shows up alongside you, and then I guess Katrina and Faywin, are you also with Carrick?
I'm gonna be with Thorin.
Okay.
So probably like going inside and checking in on Gavon and them.
Okay. Katrina? You're muted.
God damn it! I need to stop muting myself. She's following Thorin and she's basically just, as soon as they got to the house, is just chilling outside.
Okay. So, at this point, Faywin, you were the only one who's followed them in. The second Ekoki breaches the doorframe and her father sees her, he just kind of grips her in a gigantic hug, like, my daughter's returned! Just complete happiness, before eventually she kind of hesitantly pries herself from the hug, and you see her explain what happened with the trial, as his face kind of drops, and they kind of go over talking about whether or not that they'll be able to see each other again. He warns her about the dangers of outside the forest, before eventually they do sit down and he begins to kind of cook a meal. As Ekoki turns to you, you know, the rest of them they're free to come in and enjoy some of the food. I feel bad letting them stay outside.
There's food in here.
Stand and watch.
I figure Carrick's like off somewhere.
I'll come in a bit.
Well, I had walked around and then came back.
Yeah,
Okay,
you probably
sorry.
return by the time you hear Faywin yelling there's food.
Ivan would
Just
go
don't
over.
like-
I've been, yeah. he was
I
gone.
do say to Helio, you should be proud of all that your daughter's done over the past few days.
As you say, as he's kind of chopping up different fruits and vegetables, making his food, you see him kind of look over his shoulder at you. I never stopped being proud. And he just kind of keeps chopping everything up. Okay.
I'm looking for a lynch mob.
Okay.
Is Gavon in here?
Are you asking or are you looking?
Looking.
As far as you can tell, no. You do not see any sign of Gavon.
Is Gavon in here?
as you, the whole time, Helio's been chopping. As you ask, you hear the as the knife kind of sinks into the counter a bit. I don't know who you speak of. And he keeps continuing cooking the food.
You should use a cutting board, by the way. It prevents damage to the counter.
As you say that, it kind of you see the shoulders kind of rise a bit as you can tell he's kind of laughing to himself. Thorin, as you look, you do see some people moving back and forth outside. Some of them occasionally kind of you see them whispering to each other and pointing toward the house, but they eventually seem to move on.
So well, you never seen a dwarf standing on a dragon's head before.
Probably not. No.
Also, with that perception check, Thorin, in the surrounding area, you notice that there are kind of spaced out intermittently. There are a couple figures wearing what look to be very dark brown robes with their hoods up, kind of just sitting off to the side.
That's fine. I'll watch them.
Okay. Oddly enough,
They look suspicious.
they're not looking at you. They're looking everywhere except at you.
That makes it
Which
even
means
more
they're looking at you.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay. Katrina,
I
you
watched them
you
intently.
see the same thing.
Okay. She's
After
gonna casually try to make it look like she's not looking at anything.
okay.
I mimic them and look around everywhere but
after-
them, but watching them intently.
Okay.
After being inside for a little while, I will do like a message to Katrina, just kind of checking to see how everything is inside.
There's people. They're watching us. Kind of. They're watching everything but us.
So
Yeah.
you're watching them not watch you, or you
No, I'm not watching
them not watching you.
us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when they start watching you, just let us know.
If you hear a gunshot, something happened.
I figured. that.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna take a quick peek into Gavon's room.
Who's? Where are you going, Phelan?
as you stand up, you kind of like shit, like your foot kind of kicks one of the stools over. As Helio turns like, oh, are you? What are you doing?
I was going to check on the others and see if they wanted to come inside and eat.
Oh yes, please go. And he kind of turns back and
Inside.
He's not gonna fucking inside.
You lying son of a bitch.
And although Ekoki kind of looks at you and like, what are you doing?
I just like point at Gavon's room.
Oh, hold on. You see Ekoki kind of get up. Father, and he kind of puts her hand on his other shoulder, and like you see her kind of lean in and start talking to him as her hand just goes like.
Should I roll again? Let's do it. All right.
Roll. You would roll with advantage this time because she's distracting her father.
That wasn't
Awesome.
Okay, yeah. So even with that, you
I'm
managed to
just
kind of like
staring at him as he does this.
sneak your way into Gavon's room. So,
Yeah,
as of right now, the door's closed.
And try to crack it open.
Okay. It very easily just kind of opens, and you open up into a dark interior.
Does it look like nobody lives here anymore?
Make a perception check.
It's only been like a couple of days.
There's
This
stuff.
house is messing with my vibe.
There's stuff around. There's a couple things here and there. Some stuff knocked on the floor, but maybe Gavon was just messy.
All right. Just head back into the room then, or back into the main room.
Okay. So
Once he comes back in, I'll do the message to him and ask him if he found anything interesting. You can respond to message. It's
Oh, awesome.
you
Fine,
can
fine.
respond to this message.
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay. As you re-enter the room, you hear the message from Carrick, as well as you see Ekoki kind of still keeping her father's attention.
The room looks like it's always been.
I never saw what it looked like in the first place, so I'll take your word.
These assholes still out here.
Yep.
Katrina, watch this. I jump off my dragon's head and start walking towards them casually.
Okay. As you start walking towards one, they don't move. Again, they're not even looking at you.
Good evening.
As you look, kind of one of the hoods turns and looks at you. Good evening, and just starts looking back out towards the rest of the city.
What are you doing out here this time of night?
As the hood turns again, you can kind of, the face is a bit darkened, but you can tell again it is a female Rovan. She kind of looks at you. I suppose the same thing you are.
Protectors then.
Vika sent us.
Ah. Very well. I'll leave you be.
Very well, thank you. And she kind of points to herself. Anyone that carries these robes, you can trust them. Especially if they've made it. Especially if they've made it past us. Yeah. So as you look, you see it's a very dark brown robe, which has a very similar forest green twirl pattern, the same kind of pattern that Vika has on her robes, just a little less fancy. And as far as you can tell, yeah, all right, cool. Anybody with those robes obviously is working for her.
Stand back on my dragon.
All right.
Apparently they're all right. They work for Vika.
Whenever Hilo gets done making the food, I'll take out food to them.
Okay. So a couple minutes go by before Carrick exits the house and brings a plate of food to Thorn and Katrina.
Vegetables again.
I like their vegetables.
Yes,
We'll
it's
get
not so
some
bad.
real food once we get to
It's a very
Yes, they
vegetable heavy
definitely-
dish. There's a bit of rabbit and small game, but that's small game. But that's really about it.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Eh.
You've had better.
What is this, D10?
Yeah,
Yeah.
God damn it.
it's pretty good. I mean, the vegetables are annoying. Like they're like, whatever. But the rabbit's pretty good.
Hey guys, we got it straight.
Feywin's pretty good.
You should roll for Will. Roll for Will, see if he ruins it.
I'll roll for Will.
You
Well,
see,
He
you
is
see,
not a fan.
you see Ivan Ivan takes a bite and like, and just kind of like he kind of spit it out into his napkin. All right, so unless there's anything else you guys would like to do, the next couple half an hour to an hour goes by, depending on how long you guys stay awake. While outside, Thorn and Katrina, you do see the figures pretty much unmoving. Occasionally, you do see what looks to be a group of about 3 or 4 people making their way towards Ekoki's house, which they are almost immediately intercepted by 2 to 3 of these figures, who seem to kind of walk with them away and then eventually come back later and return to their positions.
Well, you want to take turns taking watch?
I think he'll be fine. I mean, they're doing something at least.
Still don't trust Rovan.
I don't trust them either. I'll take first watch. You took a nap,
Well.
but it's fine.
I'll sit up against the wall with my dragon and just fall asleep.
Okay. Carrick and Feywin, are you guys doing anything specific in the house?
I don't know if Feywin's wanting to do watch as well.
Yeah, sure. I can do
Okay.
a
I will let you do first watch this time, because last time things went crazy when I was on. I did first watch. Second watch did not go so well.
He's like, let me take first watch after I've been awake for 38 hours. It'll be fine.
Okay, so Katrina, you're taking first watch outside, and I guess Feywin, are you watching inside?
Well,
If I
I figured
assume,
I
like,
figured we were gonna go outside as well.
Okay.
the first watch that's not covered by these two.
Okay.
That's-
Okay, so in that
We're
case,
doing baby watches.
So I
Yes.
guess like third or something.
2-hour watches.
Yeah.
And Ivan's gonna sleep the whole time, like he is right now.
Okay, so Ivan immediately goes to sleep. So let me check.
I guess it would be Katrina, Faye win, then I can take third or fourth, and then wake Thorn for one of those. Because if anyone
okay.
takes second, he'll still have 4 hours. I'll have 4 hours, and then they'll have long enough for a long rest.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of because fucking elves and your damn trances.
4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours. Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay, so Katrina.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It'll work.
Yeah. All right. So Katrina taking first watch. You can make a perception check, please. Okay. So kind of keeping a.
Don't
Katrina and
understand.
Thorn can do the first two, and Faywin can do the last one. That'll be 8 hours.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I guess we'll both be on.
Watches happen.
Okay. So, Katrina, you kind of keep the first watch, kind of watching. As by this point, it goes to about 11 o'clock at night. The amount of people in the street eventually does die down more. You do see the occasional person kind of walking through the city. Nothing too out of sorts. You do see occasionally some of these brown cloaked figures get up. They do their best to lead people away from the house, kind of moving people along. Nothing really major.
Do they look like they couldn't aim to save their lives?
Do they
While
look
they're
like
saying move along.
there's a lot of moving along? Move along.
Okay.
Move along.
Cool. Alright. She doesn't really take mind of it, just kind of cleans the pepper box that she has fired and
Okay.
takes her rest.
Are you waking up Thorin next?
Yeah, I guess I'll wake up Thorin.
Okay.
And then Faywin can take the last watch.
Okay.
Faye
he's
and
gonna
I
use full
will
trance.
both do the last watch, since we'll both be done with our trances.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Happen.
So you eventually wake up.
Yeah, people
Thorin?
walk by. Nothing really other than that. Brown cloaked people appear to be doing their job, whatever it is. Whether it's keeping people away or protecting her, I'm not really sure yet.
Get your rest.
Yep, I'm gonna head to bed.
I'll wake one of
Go
the
ahead.
elves when I'm done.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thorin, make a perception check, please. I fucking hate you, Katrina. Okay. So, as you go about your watch, I'll get that later. Same thing. You do notice a few people kind of moving back and forth. By this point, it's about midnight, 1 a.m. There's not much really going on in terms of movement. There's the occasional person kind of stumbling their way home, but nothing really out of the ordinary.
Alright, I'll finish my watch. Walk in the front door.
So as you finish your watch, like, well, I'm done. Kick the door in.
Okay, I push it hard. So I walk up.
Yeah.
Are the elves trancing next to each other? What are they doing?
That depends on what they want to do.
Where are you guys trancing?
I was just going to be in the
Are you
living
in a
room,
trance
so I
circle?
guess I am fully aware that Thorn is now in the room.
I don't break your trance, so I walk up to him. Strange.
As you
Tap
do,
him.
deeper into the house, where the rooms lead off into the bedrooms, you hear a feet landing, and you see a half asleep Ekoki.
It's fine, it's only me.
And just walks back to bed.
She's used to throwing very noisy by now. It's
When
been a
she
few
walks
days.
back to bed, she finds Katrina sleeping in her bed.
You okay?
She's been there the whole time after she woke up as well.
Okay, she does not even notice. She just lays down in bed. She has a Katrina plushie.
You're done. And I walk back outside and fall asleep on my dragon.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Then I'll wake Faywin as well, and we'll take the last watch.
Okay. I need both of you guys to make perception checks.
I muse. Have you noticed that he's stopped talking? He stopped saying elves, and he's now just saying Rovan. I think he's warming up to us.
Sure. We'll go with that.
You took the time to learn your names almost.
Almost.
So as you guys watch again, you're getting into the wee hours of the morning. So 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock. Still nothing. Eventually the sun does begin to rise a bit. And as Carrick, you notice this. You see a figure kind of stumbling his way down the street towards the house you guys are in. Seems to be clearly either drunk or just not in the right state of mind. Kind of walking through, and eventually you see one of the brown cloaked figures step out from behind an alleyway and step in front of him. And as you watch, you see him kind of like, you see the arguments. They're about 100, 120 feet away from you. You see the hand motions of an argument as the person's pointing at the house behind you. And you see them try to step around. The person steps in front of them to block them. And as they try to shove and step around, you just see a second figure come out of nowhere and just crack! And just haymakers this person across the face. And the person just falls to the ground. And both of them just drag the figure out into an alleyway.
So wait, hold on. So the drunk person got knocked out and dragged into an alleyway?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I didn't know if it's like some other third party came out and took out the cloak.
Sorry, yeah. A second brown
Okay.
cloaked figure just knocked this person the fuck out.
Garrick chuckles. Not loud. He just kind of chuckles a little bit and just keeps watch.
Okay. And with that, you'll watch. Shut up, Katrina. So, your watch ends with nothing terribly out of place. Eventually, you guys all do wake up. It's about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Katrina, you wake up with very muscular arms around you as you realize that you are currently in Ekoki's grasp.
I poke her. Can you wake up? You're squishing me.
You hear, huh? Why are you? I don't care. Just get out. And you see her kind of just roll over.
Why are you still sleeping? You're an elf.
Because it's funnier this way. All right. And also,
They can sleep.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. She'll make her way up.
Okay.
She wants to find. Never mind. I'll do this later. I'll do this when he's here.
Okay. Eventually, as you kind of are walking back towards the living room, you do hear the sounds of movement in Ekoki's room as she's apparently getting up. You can hear the packing of different things. Are you just going to the living room, or are you going outside?
She'll just make her way to the living room,
Okay.
and then sit down at the table and kind of just grab the utensils, and just kind of wait for breakfast to appear.
Okay. So, as you sit, the kitchen and living room completely empty. As you kind of sit at this chair, holding knife and fork in your hands, just waiting. A couple minutes go by, before eventually you see Helio kind of make his way into the room. Oh, I suppose you're hungry. Just give me one moment. And you see him kind of
It's fine.
hobble
She
over.
just kind of watches him patiently.
He just begins kind of cooking up breakfast.
Extra rabbit, please.
Oh, of course. I
You
see
can
him
hold the
kind of,
vegetables if you want to.
you see him cracking eggs, throw some sort of meat, which you assume is rabbit meat, on this open pot. Not long afterwards, Ekoki eventually does enter the room with a big knapsack kind of over her back. She places it down the floor, and you see Helio for a second. His focus kind of goes off of the food, kind of looking over at Ekoki for a while, before eventually you hear just the damn it, And he has to kind of look back as the food starts burning. He has to fix again. So, Thorin, you're still outside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Both my elves are outside, I'm assuming?
One quick note. Can we
Yes.
just assume that I'm going to go ahead and do, what is it? Where is it?
The
Blessing of the
Do
Forge.
enchantment.
the
Yeah, if I
plus
just
one
go
thing?
ahead and do, the plus one thing to
Yeah.
my armor.
Absolutely.
Until I say otherwise. So, yeah. We'll just-
Yeah, of course. Okay. So, are you doing sword or shield? Or armor, I mean.
It's armor. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And from now on until otherwise specified, we'll just say it's armor.
Always armor? Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you awake, you kind of do your we're doing your watch. You do your ritual as your armor increases by +1. So everyone outside. Eventually, Thorin, you do awake to the smell of some sort of breakfast cooking inside. Faywin and Carrick, you also smell this.
I'll go in and eat.
Okay. Thorin, you
Or
said
wait
you're
to eat.
You're staying outside, Thorin?
Yep.
Okay. So, everyone inside, you guys eat. Helio presents you with eggs, kind of a rabbit stew. There are bits of meat. Bacon. Bits of bacon are also in there as well. Just a very simple breakfast. It's kind of a very awkward breakfast. No one, or at least the other two, aren't speaking much. You can kind of get the impression that anything they had to talk about, they must have talked about last night. Helio kind of just is kind of staring at Ekoki the whole time she eats. Ekoki not really making eye contact. Eventually, they do finish their meal, and Ekoki grabs her bag and kind of puts it over her shoulder. Well, I suppose it's time to go. And she kind of looks over at father as he gets up and kind of puts the dishes away. Do you even know where you want to go? And she kind of looks over towards you, Katrina. I mean, if you'll have me, I'll accompany you guys.
Oh, of course. No problem. You can always use another elf.
Well, how about this? I'll at least follow you as far as, let's say, Newsham, and I can find my own way from there.
I mean, whatever you want to do. You have your whole life ahead of you still.
That's true. And she kind of looks at her father and goes to walk out before she stops in the doorway. And as she turns, you see kind of a couple tears rolling down her face. She runs back and just hugs her dad one more time and eventually leaves the room.
Did she walk out the front door?
Yes.
Morning.
Good morning.
Have you come to a decision?
Well, I suppose it's makes the most sense to stay with you for now. I can always make my own way if you ever tire of me or if I ever need to, but yes, I'll come with you.
I'm already tired of that lot, so hey. But we may be running across the entity or group or whatever it is that has used you, caused your exile. There may be cause for revenge.
You see her grip tighten around the spear she holds as kind of a walking stick. That I'm definitely in.
Well, I'll at least aim to bring you that vengeance.
Thank you. And you see her pull a small thing out of her pack as she pulls this very familiar panther whistle as she kind of blows into it, this silent sound as she just waits. Do you know where you're going?
Guess I'm following these damn elves.
You know I'm an elf, right?
You're a Robin, it's different.
Yes.
I guess that's technically true. All right, whatever. And she kind of just grabs her pack and she sits waiting. What would you guys like to do?
Dwarven kingdom for this. Surrounded by elves in a roving city.
Trina will gather her things and head out after she's eaten.
Everyone's basically like distraught and motionless until we're about ready to leave.
Who is?
I am.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that I could want to buy from a store.
Whatever it is, we can find it. It's better somewhere else. Hey.
That's why I didn't go shopping for like a sword or a bow or anything. It's like,
Well, I can
Well,
also
bow
make
would be
it.
good here,
So
actually,
interesting.
technically.
I can
yeah,
also, I could essentially also make bows, but you know they're not plus anything.
but my bow's better than all these roving bows.
That's fair. That's very logical for your character to think.
Can we
You
get
already-
the? I was gonna say, can we get the main map so we can kind of see where we're?
Oh, of course. So let me just go to this real quick.
Sweet.
So this is the map of the area where you currently are, the Northern Barony. If you want, well, this is the map you have, I should say. So you're here.
Yes, we'll head towards New Sham. I don't know. We don't
We
really
can
have a
head to
direction.
Doncaster and then head down the
We'll
road.
go through Doncaster first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
go
meant
ahead
that
and
was
pick up
the
some
same
supplies. Just want to get out of
One
the
thing.
woods.
Let's not mention this damned crown again, please.
That's. I understand your feeling on the matter, but it is
Yeah.
of importance.
Ekoki,
Oh.
who's kind of sitting it down,
I
look
can
kind of.
try not to mention it around you.
She kind of raised her hand. Seconded.
I appreciate that.
Well, I have a feeling it'll turn up at some point.
Anyways, let's get going.
Journey montage.
Okay.
Ba-ba-da-ba, ba-ba-da. The great
Yeah.
escape.
So-
Get the
We'll
fuck out of
stop
here.
in Doncaster so Thorin can get more of that light drink,
Yes.
the red, whatever it is, drink.
Yeah, you can fill
Okay.
his flask up.
So
Ekoki, do you remember when you were controlling those gnolls?
bits and pieces of it. It's almost as if like you ever had a dream that you wake up and you remember pieces of it, but not the whole thing.
Aye.
Sort of like it's like waking up from a bad dream.
Remember if there was any more of them?
I don't know. I'm assuming by now they're probably scattered to the edges of the forest. I don't know.
That's good. Nobody to command them, they should be no problem for your roving allies, or at least the humans.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call them allies anymore, but I get your point.
Aye. We'll work on that.
You can't change who your family is, even if they're all jackasses.
Family, I don't mind. It's the rest of them.
But hey, what are they gonna do if they come across us? They're not gonna kill us all.
You see her kind of laugh.
And that's what they're gonna have to do.
I'd actually like to see them try that.
Maybe we should walk slowly on the way to Doncaster, see if someone tries to gank us.
Let out a little steam.
First,
Your
use
brother's
the
still
gank.
out there somewhere.
Not like follow, track, ambush, or
Gank.
anything. Gank.
Got to ward areas of the
Your brother's
forest.
still out there. Might make an attempt. He wasn't very happy the last time we saw him.
He's also not very smart either, so we'll see him coming.
Well, we already knew that.
Well, I guess there's no place to go but forward. You see her just kind of start using her spear as a walking stick. She's since given you back your spear, Carrick, and she's grabbed her own weapons from her home.
All right. So I have 3 spears again. Though Paywin still has my other spear, so I can make him a short sword. Is what you requested?
On what?
You can have it back at any time, though.
So, you guys begin walking your way out of the Rovan village. Probably about half an hour after you leave the village, you see the very familiar sight of. Let me double check, make sure I get the name right, because I always fuck up this damn thing's name.
I'd like to do an animal handling check to see if it'll let me pet it.
Ogursh is his name. So, you eventually see Ogursh the Panther. You can absolutely try.
Yeah. You better remember who saved your life.
So, eventually the Panther kind of arrives, and Ekoki very quickly mounts up on top of it. As you kind of reach your hand out to, like, very slow to pet it.
Oh, not from the top. Below. I know plenty of animals. Go low.
So, you kind of reach your hand out, and the Panther kind of looks at you, and you hear a very low, like, as Ekoki kind of scritches behind the ear, like, oh, relax, as you pet it.
That's it.
I want to jump on the panther.
Okay.
Can I make a perception check to see this happening?
Sure. All right.
Got
I
this.
think I
Yeah.
see it happening.
It's gonna go great.
I want to jump back as soon as I see her going to like jump on it. I want to jump back.
So you go to jump, and you plant a foot on one of the rocks on the ground, and you push yourself off, and you land right behind Ekoki. You're like, nailed it. But the second you land, you feel a panther just sit, and you just make
Check.
make a dexterity.
Not straight checking. I'm just gonna hold on to a cookie.
All right, fine. Go do strength check.
Yes. It's gonna be worse
I
this
Sure,
way.
it's worse. Yeah.
You managed to hold on as your lower half just kind of like falls out from under you. So you're kind of now holding on to Ekoki's back as your stomach is just on this panther's back, and your feet are kind of kicking as they're like almost slipping off.
I look at Thorin
It'll
and
be
say,
fine.
so why are elves
can
the
start going."
crazy ones?
I'm not crazy. I'm just adventurous.
Let's go. I'll pick up my dragon's head and start walking.
I'm tired of walking.
So all right. So how many days has it been since we killed the dragon? It's been like 2. One day?
At
Okay.
this point, let me just double check.
This
Yeah,
is the
because we
second.
killed
It's
it,
been one
then
night,
we
yeah.
killed it, then we slept, and then we slept again.
This is
So-
this is the third day, but like 2 days basically.
Yeah, it's okay.
Two
Dragons
nights.
take a long ass time to freaking decay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if it was starting to just smell a little bit.
Yeah,
or not.
because
Dragon in
you-
my
yeah,
head,
it's
some
no.
self-preservation.
you killed it, slept
True.
in
It's
the
an
old
ice
village,
dragon.
killed it, slept in the
And
old village,
You have
traveled.
to remember,
Yeah.
the elven village was cold.
Yes.
So it nerfed it a little bit.
Yeah, and I like to think that a white dragon's head naturally is a little colder, so you still have time.
The blood
speaking of-
kind of crystallizes a little bit.
I like to imagine it does. And as you're walking, a cook kind of turns around like, "How long are you going to carry that?"
Until I find a bar to throw it on.
Okay. Also, make a perception check, Thorin.
Right.
Once again, now that Ogrish the Panther has
I'm
returned,
watching you.
you see the very familiar, the lips, kind of the tongue licking lips a bit. As you look, just kind of stare down this panther as it kind of stares back at you. All right, you guys continue on, and it doesn't take you very long. I believe I'm the time about an hour. So you've been half an
man.
hour. Okay.
Perceptions have been awful.
So, after another 45 minutes, you guys eventually do break out of the North Pine Forest and into the Flooded Glades, which is the name of the swamp area that surrounds Doncaster. And not long after that, eventually you do return, and you re-enter the town of Doncaster.
I've forgotten how bad it smells here.
Oh, it smells fucking terrible for those that don't remember.
Well, see, now there's
Oh,
also
no.
those dead bodies on top of it. If they haven't
Smells
fully
like
cleared those
home.
out yet.
They have.
This is a very poor town, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we invigorated their economy last time we
Yeah,
were
we-
here.
You did, basically. In a very sad way, you guys are the reason why they can probably survive another year or two.
How's the place looking after the attack?
By this point, it's been about a week. So most of the areas are at least primitively boarded up. You can definitely tell where the fixes are because the areas that have been fixed is it's a lighter shade of wood. So you can tell they've just recently been hacked down the trees, cut up the wood in the right spots, and begun making the fixes. So as far as you can tell, besides the oddly colored wood of the patchwork, it looks pretty good. Well, I mean, it's still a shithole, but it looks good for a shithole.
I walk into the bar
Okay.
and I slam my dragon head down on the bar.
Okay, as you re-enter the bar, which let me make sure I have my stuff taken care of. Okay.
Harless is
Yes.
his name.
Thank you.
That's
So you
the only note I have on this adventure.
yeah. So you re-enter the bar, the Lucky Maiden, and as you do, behind the bar, you do see Harless, the old bartender with kind of a wispy-looking black mustache, kind of a portly-looking guy. As you slam the head down,
Oh, that's you old dog. Give me some of the good stuff.
he kind of turns around. Where the hell did you get that?
Well, it was attached to the rest of it, but I couldn't carry it all.
Fair enough. You selling that?
Hey, you don't have enough coin for that.
I know. Just asking, making conversation, I guess. What'll it be?
The good stuff.
Let's see.
Please, the good stuff.
So if you
It's like
remember,
rent-
yes.
turn-
So, as you say the good stuff, he kind of winks at you and reaches under the bar and pulls out a small bottle of a very bright red-looking liquid. All right, Lantern Keeper it is, and pops in front of you.
I'm just gonna poke my head in, like, I'm guessing we're going to be here for a while. Talking to
What
Thorin.
makes you think that?
I was just checking. I didn't know if you're just stopping to load up and then head out, or if you plan on sticking
Fine,
around
thank
and
you very
drinking.
much. I pop the cork and drink about half the bottle.
Okay, make a Constitution save.
It's slow for me.
Okay.
Just like my perceptions.
As you drink, you feel like you can feel the burn as it goes down. It's a very sweet flavor, but it's a very high alcohol content. And you feel it for a bit, but you feel as though your natural dwarven constitution does help you kind of mitigate some of the effects of it.
Thorin almost has his O face on as he drinks the nectar. By the gods, Harless, you're a saint.
I do what I can. That'll
Give me
be
2 balls for the road.
Oh, all right. And you see he kind of pulls 2 more bottles out. That'll be about 7 silver altogether.
Yeah. I slammed down 10.
Oh,
Notice the alcohol got a whole lot cheaper.
and I should have
That's
should've-
It's equivalent.
written down the fucking price of it too. All right.
Yeah, last time you charged me like 2 silver for a beer.
Thorin did save the town,
Yeah.
technically, as he died.
So as you slam down the 10 silver, his eyes kind of, much obliged. He kind of slides it back under. Will you be needing rooms as well?
I don't think we're staying long.
It's passing through then.
Hey.
Are you
Yeah.
Are you heading to Beltcliff?
Not really sure where we're headed. I'm just following elves now. Can you believe that?
He
Not
makes
only
it,
else.
he makes a very face as you say that.
I know, right?
All right, well, I guess that's one way to do things.
Hey, I'm still not an elf.
Who the hell is
I
saying?
know.
Oh, it kind of looks over the bar. Oh, I'm sorry, little one. I didn't see you there. Is this your daughter? I forget.
He's met Harlan. Okay.
That's Katrina. She's
I
a
paid for
gnome,
my
not a
own
dwarf.
room. He's never even stayed here a night. How do you not remember who I am?
All I do is drink here.
Well,
He kind of leans over.
He slept on the bar.
Yeah.
There.
Well, yeah, he slept in the
Slept on
yeah.
the table.
He leans over and looks at you, Katrina. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little drunk.
I'm the only person you've seen in this
Ah,
height
good man.
years.
There's people that come in here every once in a while. Some of them small.
Are they children?
What?
I've seen you sell alcohol to children while this. Don't you start.
What? If they pay, sure. Why not? Look at this place. Kind of like points out the window. This place is a shithole.
Called old school right there. If you can see over the counter, you can buy it.
That's actually written behind the bar. If you can read this, you can buy one.
But Katrina can't see over the counter.
And then it's like in parentheses, unless you're a no.
I take it you've not had any more no problems since we've been gone.
No, actually, thankfully. I know, we had a bit of a problem after you guys left, but we handled it. Also, Green Eye left a while ago and said he was taking care of some things, and I'm assuming he's still out there somewhere. I don't know. He'll be back, though. He always comes back a bit later. He may have actually headed down to Newsham as well.
Maybe I'll meet him there.
Guess that's where we're headed.
Yeah, I need to unload some stuff before it starts rotting.
Aye, me too.
Oh,
Can't wait to get to an actual city.
yeah, this place sucks. But what can you do, right? And he kind of pulls out a big bottle and just starts drinking from it.
You could build a city not in a swamp.
Do you think I built this city?
I hope not.
I was thinking the exact thing, you dickhead.
Based off your current level of intoxication, I would guess that it's possible.
I thought you were gonna say swamp and knolls.
Oh, I should have
Okay,
said
so
that. Damn it.
Yeah, there
Here's-
you go.
Here's my question for you. Okay, so like the builder, like the founder of the city, right? He's like, hey, look, we got all this great forest, and look over here, we get all this great farmland. You know, what? I'm gonna build the city fucking here. Did he lose a bet?
He kind of leans over the counter and looks at you. I don't know.
How do you know
History
the
check.
thing?
This ship get here.
Yes, he actually did in fact lose a bet.
I was meant to ask you this, Arliss. How did this bloody boat get in the middle of a swamp?
Well, funny thing actually. If you ever head further north towards the coast, there used to be a bit of a small bay that over the years just became shit. More of a swampland. As this, whatever he kind of points the muck and ooze outside. This shit just drains towards that direction, and this boat got stuck somewhere in that bay, and we just kind of pulled it here. I mean, how cool is that? My bar's in a fucking boat.
Why wouldn't you leave it in the bloody bay?
I'm not. What am I supposed to build my bar out of then? This is like a pre-made bar.
The
Right.
boat, build the houses around the boat in the bay, then you've got a network to trade with. Your boats can come in, you can trade with them. That's income to your bar.
I mean, we have a bit of trade. I mean, the NATC
I mean,
comes
I
through
think
every once in a while.
this smell's putting a lot of people off.
Oh, it's
This one
fucking terrible.
smells.
Why do you think I'm drunk half the time? It smells like shit.
Yeah, I have an idea. So just get everyone to vote to move the town like 20 miles north where there's clean water.
If you move, then you won't have to rebuild the burnt houses.
I mean, we've had a couple town hall meetings before where this guy Pat, he's a weird guy. He keeps saying he just wants to take the town and just move it somewhere else. But I'm like, it's
it somewhere.
He might be the smartest person in this entire town.
I would agree.
I guess. I mean, there's a bit of area a bit further north towards that bay, but we'll see. I mean, as of right now, it's the ground's a bit soft there, so we probably our houses would sink in.
Is it any softer than a swamp?
Well, the ground itself isn't that soft. It's just the water comes up and down. That's what stinks. I mean, if it's low tide, it's what smells like shit around here.
Wait, it can smell like worse shit than this?
Yeah,
I
this
believe
is.
it's
You look
going
outside and you realize this is actually high
high
tide.
tide.
This is high tide. And it still smells like shit.
At
Look,
some point, you just like write it all off as terrible.
The shit smell
Why
just
on earth
it
did I
smells a little
come
bit
here?
watery, a little more watery than normal.
I have enjoyed our conversations, Harless, but I might not be back around for a while.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I wish you well.
You too, Master Dwarf.
Back to civilization, I guess.
Also, just in case you have gnomes here the next time, like, just install, like, one stool with a ladder to get up here. It's a hassle.
It's not that big. Fine. Anything else I can get you before you go?
Not for me. This lot may want something.
Yeah, can I have a cup of sass for the road?
His eyes
We don't
just
have
kind
that
of his eyes just kind of narrow. We're all out.
That's not possible.
And you see him kind of just take a seat back behind the bar again and pull out another bottle from under the bar and just.
Guys, look, I pushed him to drinking.
It's
He was
not
already drinking.
That's a pretty
That
easy
definitely wasn't
push.
you. Wait, then.
If we're getting up, then Carrick will put his
Well,
book away and just nod. at
You got any
Harlan.
dried meats? I'm running kind of low.
I don't really have a lot. I mean, you could check with Terrence. Terrence might.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Terrence.
alright.
I can feel that eye roll.
He's the one who watched over your body.
He's,
Well,
like,
he's
very
He's the
similar
one
to
that
you.
you tasked with watching over my body. It's not
I
who
mean,
I would have picked.
He was capable. He didn't eat you.
Why would he eat me?
What?
I mean, he was a half orc.
Wait, what?
Have eaten people before.
Are you saying Terrence could eat me?
No.
Terrence
I
could
was
eat
just
anyone.
stating the fact that
Anyone
anyone
can
can
eat
eat
anyone.
anyone. If you're dead, you don't
Boom,
really have a
like-
say who eats you.
Do you eat dead people?
No.
I see
but
dead people.
Who knows what she
In
does?
the war with the orcs, it was a pretty common tale that orcs eat people.
It's true.
Ugh.
I mean, when you're hungry enough.
Oh my god.
I believe Terrence is not that much of an orc.
No, as I
Oh,
said,
he's
he's
only
half
half.
an orc.
So
Yeah,
he's
it's a
half-
lot less than half.
I can put my hand on my heart and honestly say I've never eaten an orc. I've killed enough of them.
I haven't eaten one either. I ate
They
a
probably
chicken.
don't taste good. They
Nope.
probably taste a lot like this town.
And that's the difference between us and orcs.
All right then. You see him just.
I
kind
just
of
walk out in this conversation. I walk away.
All right.
This is the most random drunk conversation.
Yeah.
It's just what would happen in this situation?
Yeah, wait, what? They eat people. Okay. What else would you guys like to do in the town?
Nothing.
Terrence.
Okay.
Go talk to Terrence.
So,
I want to swing by Penny and see if she may have some dried fish or something.
Penny. Penny.
okay. So,
Penny Beth.
So,
Penny Beth,
Carrick,
sir.
you're going to see Penny. Thorin, you're going to see Terrence.
Aye.
Okay. So we'll do Carrick's first. So, Carrick, you
Katrina is
eventually.
also going to see Terrence.
Okay, you're going to Terrence. Faywin, are you going with Terrence, or are you going to see
Yeah.
Penny? Okay. So you guys are going to see Terrence.
I was the only one that ever met Penny.
Yeah.
so-
Okay. So Carrick, as they kind of head off towards Terrence's house, you eventually do find your way back to Penny's abode. As you, Penny, Very quickly, the door opens up, and you are again met with a
halfling
small
woman.
halfling. Yeah, with still almost exactly the same as you first met her. The pulled back red-brown hair. She has sort of a palish skin, even though she is living in this area with a lot of sun. Just covered in just smudge and dirt. As she looks up at you. Oh, hi. Yeah, welcome back. Please come in. And she kind of pulls the door open and lets you in. Karen, Carrick, right?
Yes, Carrick.
Hi,
And
welcome.
you're Penny.
Yes, yeah, Penny. What can I do for you?
Well, I believe we spoke before. You said that you were the general smith of the area. You said you typically repair nets and fishing lures and things.
Yeah,
Such as
I mean,
that.
I have the forge, so that's
The
that's me.
I didn't know if you dealt more with repairs or if you actually crafted things yourself.
I mean, I dabble in a bit of both. What did you have in mind? You want me to fix something?
No, not today.
A little
Just
bit.
since fishing seems to be the area, I didn't know if you actually did some fishing as well or if you just focused on fixing it. I didn't know if you had some maybe fishing line and hooks that you might have that you wanted to get rid of or sell.
Well, I mean, I do have I have some extra supplies if that's what you're asking about. But me myself, I don't actually do the fishing.
That's fine. Yeah, mainly it would just be supplies. I figured that you would probably have a good amount of hooks available.
Yeah,
Just
of course.
in case I happen to find myself somewhere and had some time and decide to go fishing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I could definitely give you some fish hooks. I make the supplies. Usually Terrence and Layla, they're the ones that actually catch the fish.
Well, the rest of my group went to see him, so they may be picking some fish up from Terrence. But I was just, in case we're out and about and I have the opportunity to fish, I figured I would try my hand at it.
Sure. Do you want a full fishing rod or do you want just the supplies?
Sure, I will definitely go with the full fishing rod.
Sure. Okay.
About how much would that be?
And you see her kind of turn and begin kind of looking through a couple different boxes of just different supplies before she eventually pulls out a small, about a 4-foot stick with a very rudimentary lure attached to it with a hook. Well, this one would probably be, I'd say, about 3 silver. Does that sound fair? I don't know. I've never sold one. I just usually give them to Terrence and he gives me food back.
Can I appraise it? Would that be like investigation?
Sure. Okay, so let me just double check because I actually don't know how much this would cost. Okay, so from what you gather, a normal fishing rod is about 1 gold.
That's an expensive fishing.
I mean,
Well, not
it's
really,
just
I mean-
catch your meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can eat forever with a fishing rod.
Yeah.
As long as
Or
it doesn't
you're-
break.
Yeah.
Give a man a fish, he can eat for a day.
Teach him how to fish.
Teach
Don't-
a man to fish.
Don't teach him how to fish. Let him learn himself.
Teach him how to fish. You're ruining capitalism.
I was more looking at like the quality of the fishing rod.
Oh,
instead
it's
of,
it's all right. It's a very rudimentary, very primitive design.
like stick, string, hook. just
More or
like-
less, yeah. I mean, there is a rudimentary lure to it,
Right,
but
right.
it's mostly just stick, string, hook.
That's all I was hoping for. Just
Okay.
a cane rod fishing pole,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, it's more or
Yeah,
less what it is.
I'll go ahead and pick it up then.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I hope that works for you.
I believe we should do just fine. And pick up a couple extra hooks and line just in case.
Sure. That'd be just an extra silver.
I'll go ahead and give her 5 silver for the whole brawl.
Oh, thank you. You see her kind of run off and get a bag and start putting stuff in there. She wraps it back up and hands it to you. Here you go.
Thank you. And may I'm drawing a blank. And just may Leoro's blessings be upon you and your fortune.
Thanks. Have a good day. Hope to see you soon. She kind of waves at you as you leave.
Whoa.
Basically, the polar opposite of Harless.
The rest of you, stay out of sight and watch this. This is going to be funny.
All right, so we jump back. You guys have arrived outside Terrence's door.
I am perfectly okay with this plan.
I hold the dragon's head above me and kick the door a few times.
Okay, so as you kick the door, you hear the door begin to. You hear a voice call out. Who is it?
I kick it another couple of times.
Who is it?
Rinse and repeat. I just keep kicking it.
God, you hear just low muttering voices like. And eventually you hear the locks opening as the door opens, and as the door opens, you see a very familiar figure, a human woman with braided blonde hair, whose eyes just go wide, and just screams and just like out of instinct, just kind of like swats at the dragon head. Just, ah!
I'm assuming I hear this.
Yeah.
Thor puts on his best dragon voice. Hello.
As she swats and runs away, yeah, Carrick, the whole village is probably like a mile, 1 square mile. Like you can probably less than that actually. You can hear it. So as you like you make the voice. Oh wow. Okay, make a dexterity save.
All right.
Oh yeah, because he has that halberd that I fixed up for him.
This is his wife.
Okay, so as you
So I would see it coming.
basically as you do this, you kind of the head is overhanging a bit, so you kind of only see the Layla's like from her stomach down.
Yeah.
You see suddenly as she is just shoved aside, and you see these thick green, you see thick legs start running as you go, oh shit, and kind of just like release your grip on the dragon's head. As what you would tell, you hear a as this glaive strikes straight into this dragon's head, and is holding it kind of above you. I got him! What?
Well done, Terrence. You just slayed a dragon's head.
What the hell?
I pop up from behind the dragon's head, which is really easy to hide by. Hello.
God damn it! And kind of drops in, puts his foot on the dragon's head and pulls the glaive out. The hell's all that about?
It was a little funny.
It's more fun this way.
Oh yeah, real fucking funny. As you look over and you see Layla kind of in the corner, like, it's all right, Layla. It's just a fucking dragon head. It's just.
You realize the only reason you got away with this is because Ivan isn't here. Because he would have said something.
Ivan's there. There's just a big buffering circle on him right now.
Yep. Ivan's still sleeping, Ivan, alright.
Well, glad to see you got back. What do you want?
We slayed a dragon.
I see that, and you use it to scare me wife.
I wasn't intending to scare you, but I do apologise.
Alright, he said he's sorry, Layla. As she kind of like
you sent your wife to the door after I kicked it a few times.
I was cooking breakfast. Why the hell am I going to stop?
Man does that?
I was cooking breakfast. I yelled out, "Who's there?" And no one answered. So I said, honey, can you get the door, please? She said, "Oh, I'll get it." And what? Who fucking has a dragon head? Like, just fucking come inside, please. And see him kind of just turn and go back to the counter and start chopping up his breakfast.
What was Ekoki's reaction to this?
Oh
As
god,
she's
yeah.
riding on her panther.
I forgot Ekoki. Yeah, Ekoki actually remained kind of at the outskirts of town. She's a little hesitant to enter as of right now, especially with her giant panther. Yeah.
She sent the gnolls into this town.
Yeah, she more or less is not really. She kind of right now, as you guys came in, you came in from the western side. She's more or less staying outside and heading towards the eastern side around the town because she knows you guys are eventually coming that way.
Okay.
We're just stopping by, Terrence. We just need to pick up a few supplies.
All right, what can I get you? And as you look, the last time you saw Terrence, he had just the kind of, he has his hair kind of shaved like almost like a mohawk that's kind of braided all the way down his back. The hair right now not braided, just kind of flying loose. As you can tell, he probably just recently woke up.
And just some dried fish. Provisions for that road.
Yeah, all right, sounds fair enough. Layla, honey, can you grab me some of the provisions, please? And you see him kind of point over to one of the counters, and Layla, kind of still shivering a bit, kind of just gathers herself and begins rummaging through one of the counters.
Hey, you can touch it. It's well and truly dead. Terrence finished it off. He's a hero. Sleep with him tonight.
You know, I don't really need. I mean, thank you. She's probably going to with it, but I don't need your help. All right. It takes about a minute or two before Layla comes back with a knapsack of what looks to be about a pound of dried fish.
So, Terrence, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, like, if you guys have a kid, you just pray that the half comes as a part of the kid, not the orc half?
I mean, I don't
That's
really.
a personal question.
Yeah, it's kind of a odd, like, hey, we're back with our dragon head, scare your wife. Hey, you ever had kids before? Like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be maybe like she's like full human, so like that gets half. I don't know, actually. It's a good question.
What's your half?
Mine?
Yeah, I mean, is it human, elf,
Yeah,
dwarf?
human.
Okay. I don't know. It's common to be any of the lot.
No, I know. Yeah, my mom was a human. Father was a piece of shit. So that's how it works.
Well, good luck with that.
I guess I don't really know. He kind of looks over at his wife like, oh.
Well, we're going to be hitting the road, Terrence, so you won't see us for a while.
Oh, I'm going to miss you so much. Yep, gonna really broken up about it. When do you leave? Like, you leaving like right now?
Pretty much, eh?
At this point, Carrick arrives and knocks on the door in
Carrie,
a nicer manner.
Now, watch out, mate, but another dragon.
I swear to God, if I open this fucking door, it's another dragon. I'm gonna be really fucking pissed. And you see him just Carrick, as you like very politely, knock, knock, knock. This door.
He's kind of doing that turn, kind of looking around.
Yeah.
Like hands behind his back, just kind of looking around, waiting for the door to open.
The door flies open, and as you turn, there's just a glaive in your face. What?
Nice to see you as well, Terrence. I see you're using that quite handily.
Kind of looks around outside. You don't have a dragon's head, right?
Does it look like I have a dragon's head?
That's fair. All right, come on in. He kind of turns around, and as you enter, you see Thorin probably still sitting on his dragon's head, I'm assuming.
Yep. Chuckling.
Okay, so I'm assuming I see her cowering in the corner, a cut on the dragon's forehead, and kind of piece together what happened.
You definitely see the cut. By now, Layla has she's steadied herself, and she's currently handing the bag of dried fish to Katrina.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. That's just please. I have to.
Thorin, do you want this now, or do you want me just to shove it in the bag of holding?
You can shove it in there. I'm alright just now.
Okay.
Apologies again. You need a bit of excitement every now and then.
Yes, because gnolls weren't so exciting. And she kind of just leaves the room and walks back towards her bedroom.
Oh, well, before she left, I was just going to say, I wanted to say hello to her. Oh, Layla, it's so nice to see you. You're even more beautiful than last time.
Thank you. And she's kind of
Trying to be charming, and I hope the.
Go for creepy. Roll for
I'm not
creepy.
rolling for creepy. Where is it?
Make a
It's-
charisma check. Actually,
That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's awful. Okay.
as you say, like you see Terrence kind of look at you.
Deadpan. It's a dead. Like I said, a deadpan. Oh, Layla, you look even lovelier than last time I saw you. Like there's no real feeling there. It's just sort of robotic.
Yeah, Terrence kind of looks at you. Yeah, she is. Anyway,
It's alright,
Yes,
you're in there,
I-
Dragon Slayer.
can you? God damn it!
I said that with true sincerity. Aaron.
No, I get it. It's just you're a bit. You freaked me out.
Terrence,
Sorry.
I think he wants your lady.
No,
I don't.
I'm fine.
I can tell you with 100% certainty. I don't know what the fuck he wants. Actually, seems a bit weird. No offense.
They're all weird.
Katrina's like,
You spend
Yeah.
250 years
he looks
in
a
the
bit
church.
weird.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
Actually, it was longer than that, wasn't it?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've spent like 400 something years in the service of the church. I
Katrina's still waiting for someone to realize that she's the weird one.
I
I
realize.
will take my dragon's head and take my leave, Terence.
All right.
Nice knowing you.
Yep. Take the fish. Don't worry about paying. I feel like I owe you for. Still owe you for all this shit.
I flick him a gold.
He snatches it. I mean, I'm not gonna say no. Kind of pockets it and just close the door on your way out, please.
I walk out. Can't close the door.
Are the rest of you guys following?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess I'll nod as we leave and shut the door behind us.
Okay. So, I'm assuming there's nothing else you guys want to do in the city or the town. I
What's
should
sense
say.
of humour? You believe that? Sent his wife to the door. Sent his wife to the door.
Fucking asshole.
Wait. Shh, I have an idea. I'm gonna sneak back. I want to attempt to lock the door from the outside.
Okay. Okay, so you insert your thieves' tools in, and you lock the door.
Okay, then I leave.
Okay, so unless there is something else you guys want to do in town, you guys eventually do make your way back towards the outskirts. This time on the eastern side of town, where Ekoki and Ogre, her panther, are still waiting. As she looks to you. So, what's the next move?
To a town that doesn't smell like shit.
Hey,
Please.
That's a good plan.
How's your
Yeah,
panther
so-
doing in this?
I guess we're heading
You
to
don't-
Belcliff. The
You
next
don't have
mark.
to shy away from civilization. You're with us. Nothing's going to interfere with you.
Yeah, it's just more or less like the guilt, I
I
guess.
kind of killed these people.
Yeah, I kind of. Yeah, I'd rather not. The next one.
Right. Well,
Get more
onwards.
information.
How many
Right.
days travel is it to this bloody city?
Get more information, more rest, more food. Hopefully enough that our half elf is a little more attentive.
You just seem a little
And
out of it
we
today.
can formulate a plan.
Okay.
He performed that ritual fairly well.
Do you So where are we heading? I don't know much of the area outside the forest.
I believe, I guess it needs to be Ivan because
Dusha, right? That's where we're
I
going.
did
Hey,
research, but it's just general research. So I'm assuming it's. Oh, I didn't know New Shit. Yeah, I guess we're heading towards Belcliff.
We are heading
Via
down the
New Shale.
road. Let's just follow the road. It should take us right there.
All right. Sounds good enough. Let's lead the way.
I will head our way to Newsham, where some new danger will present itself to us, and we'll have to hit it on the head.
I'm
Okay.
assuming you're still carrying your dragon.
Aye.
So, as we see Thorin carrying his giant dragon head, we will cut the session there, and we will pick up next time as you guys are now on the road south to Newsham, which
On
is...
the road again.
Yep. We're on the road to Viridian City.
That's old school.
Eastbound and down, loaded up in traffic.
All right, so on that note, guys, we are going to end the session for today, as we are currently heading off towards Newsham, which is
The
one of
camps are all
the.
fucked up on that scene.
I know.
Yep.
It moved the size down, so I had to move back up again. So, we have to. You guys are heading towards Newsham, which is one of the larger cities in the area, and one of the cities completely under the control of the Northern Barony. So,
Sask.
yeah, pretty
I don't know who that is.
pretty exciting. Sask, exactly. So, for those who want to figure out what the Northern Barony is all about, as well as what my world's all about, let me just do this in chat real quick. Bam. There's my World Anvil page where you can learn about the lore of Drusatta and all that fun stuff. So, before we go, our typical closing announcement. Please stay tuned to Metal's channel on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday we have Eswar, run by Will, who unfortunately was Tai and had to sleep through this episode. Friday is Sothieth, run by Caboose, and then Saturday is Yalen, run by Metal. Any other announcements before we get going?
Nope.
So
That I can think of.
Child's Play thing, right?
Yeah, St. Jude's Play Live
Yeah.
events.
So
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
that's still going on through May. So if you see any streams that have that usually in the title, St. Jude's or something, they're raising money for that. So feel free to help out the chitlins.
Sweet.
Give money to charity or we kill you.
Give money
Curing
to
cancer through gameplay.
give money to kids because kids are best. All right, so thank you guys for coming by. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday for the next episode of Drusatta Rise of Legend. So until next time, guys, bear.
Bye. 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 And then you try to mute us back.
All right, I muted you guys, so I get to say it last. Bear.